you want to try and do the water thing?
What's the water thing?
Just fill up buckets and just put them on his ship and sink his ship by just filling it up with buckets of water. I don't see any movement on the ship, so he's probably on the island. Yes, the bucket tactic. Just pull up right next to him.
We should get ready to drop the
park
anchor
up
pretty
right
soon,
next
though.
to him.
He'll never see us.
Ready to drop anchor.
Right, bucket time.
Just gonna bucket him silly.
Bucket him silly.
Bucket him to death. I guess we just go downstairs and then just gonna come back to his sunken ship.
I mean,
This is definitely filling up.
It doesn't appear to be. Well, there's definitely water in it, but it doesn't appear to be filling that fast.
I think you actually have to slosh it downstairs. Because I've said like 3 when I didn't.
Oh no, it's going up. It's going up.
Yeah, it is.
It's fine.
I mean, we are using small buckets. It's not like we've got a hose pipe on.
It's taking quite a long time.
The slowest death.
Where is he?
He'd just be on that outpost somewhere.
Oh yeah, what are you doing to my ship, boys?
If he's on his own, he's got a lot of water to clear up.
Oh, I'm being aimed at by something.
Dude, he must have seen us by now.
I think it's him. He's aiming at me.
Is he? Where? Yeah, he's on the tower. He's looking at us slowly sinking his ship.
Why are you doing this? I don't understand.
Probably thinks we're trying to help. Oh, look at those nice people there. Getting the water out of my ship.
Probably only got a pistol.
God, it takes so
It's
long.
sitting quite low in the water now.
Is he coming over?
Oh yeah, the water's coming up onto the top deck now.
It's gonna go soon.
Oh,
Is that it?
really?
He's coming. He's coming. Quickly.
It's
Keep
too
taking it, man.
It's too little, too late.
Quick! Keep filling.
He's almost here.
He's on.
Where is he?
Going.
Oh, he's right here.
Is he bailing?
He's climbing the ladder,
Just leave him. Just keep filling up and see what he does.
Yeah, leave him. It's fine.
We're just trying to help you, I promise.
He's at the back of the ship. He's at the back of the ship in the water.
It's on the deck now.
Oh yes.
Is he trying to bail out?
Oh.
Making noises.
Keep going,
What?
man. Where's he gone?
He doesn't seem to be battling us.
I think he's given up.
He's on our ship.
Better not be.
Maybe he's doing it all out.
Yeah, but ours is going to take significantly longer to see.
Yeah, but he could steal it.
He could just steal it.
Yeah, but we can respawn on it. Oh, she's going.
Right, I'm gonna check our ship.
It's going. There we go. Death by bucket.
I can hear him doing it.
Oh,
Get off that, you filthy bilge rat!
Yeah, he's doing the anchor.
I just dumped him overboard. Oh.
Did he actually do it? No.
Ow!
oh, he's fighting. There we go.
Oh.
What? Well,
The sad story of Team Zupski.
Team Zupski sunk by buckets.
You can just see his sail.
It's like death by spoon or something, that
It's
is.
above the water.
Death by 1,000 buckets.
Sea of Thieves doesn't launch until 20th of March, so when the closed beta ended, we had a bit of a wait ahead of us. But thankfully, we can get another fix this weekend as Rare are doing a stress test on the servers, so if you previously had access, you'll be able to play the game once more for a few days. There is some new content in the game, and thankfully Rare have promised another beta before release, so don't worry if you don't get access this time around. Since the closed beta ended though, we've got a ton of new information about the game and mainly what we can expect when the full game launches, including content that you're aiming for, or end game as some may call it. Let's start right at the beginning with character customization. Sea of Thieves will not offer a full character customization tool, so don't expect sliders where you can customize each part of your pirate. And they say that this isn't laziness, it's by design. You begin life in the tavern and in front of you is a selection of randomly generated pirates with all sorts of different features and body types. Apparently it's based on around 20 different parameters ranging from age, size, skin colour, body type, to name a few. If one of these selection in front of you to start with isn't to your liking, you can then randomly generate another group until you find one that you like. So while there isn't a fully fledged customization option, I think there is still something for everyone once you eventually find the randomly generated character that you like. Don't worry though, you are still going to be able to customize your character's appearance visually with clothing, cosmetic items, and also hair and facial hair, so not all is lost. Some other new things in this build are the following. If you dive underwater, you might see some fish, just adding a bit of character to the game, I suppose, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that eventually there's going to be fishing in this game, and I think that's going to be a big missed opportunity if there isn't. A lot of the NPC character models have changed and been polished, they look a lot better now, and you can also interact and have a chat with them, like the barmaid here for example. There's hints there that she's looking for some kind of a necklace, and if you find it, perhaps you'll gain a reward if you return it back to her. In this new build, you might find some treasures scattered around floating in the ocean or on the beach. They're going to shine really brightly, and if you find one of these, you can pick it up and take it back to your ship and then eventually trade it in for some gold. And finally, one of the other new things we found were these bottles. If you come across a bottle with a message in it, it may have a quest for you to take out a skeleton captain or even two. So I found this one here and it had a quest, told us that we need to go to a certain island, look around, and we might find somebody. We did find somebody there. There were these skeletons wearing blue bandanas, and if you kill them, more of them spawn in, but this time's with better weapons and health each time. Kill those and eventually the captain himself will turn up, and if you kill him, you can pick up his skull. It's glowing green ominously and also makes weird whispering noises. You could then take that back to your ship. Now in the current build of the game, I don't think there's anything else that you can do with these, but I'm guessing that you'll be able to turn them in to a specific vendor when the game is released for a reward. Next to your playable character, the next most important thing has to be your ship. In Sea of Thieves you can have either a galleon, which is designed for 4 players, although you can sail it on your own if you're feeling fruity, or the sloop, which is a 2 or 1 player ship. In the full game you'll be able to buy cosmetic customization items for your ship, from the figurehead, sails and even the hull. Interestingly though, I was thinking, well, if I'm playing with friends, how is that going to work? Well, once you own a cosmetic item, before you set sail you can customize your ship however you want. Basically you can apply any cosmetic item to any ship, and that's important because it changes the way that you think about your ship. Every time you play the game and you set sail, you get a ship. That's your ship. It's probably going to have your custom sails and custom figureheads, but it is a throwaway item. If it goes down you'll get a new one, and you have to remember that while you of course are attempting to look after your ship, it's never a one and done case scenario. Now, we've also found out recently that there's another step up from your normal ship, and these are called legendary ships, and you gain them by being a pirate legend. Think of these as endgame content, the ships that you are striving to own. There are 3 factions in the game: the Gold Hoarders, the Merchant Alliance and the Order. Gain enough reputation with all of them by completing quests and you'll gain access to a unique voyage that you'll need to complete to gain legendary pirate status. I'll get onto exactly what that entails in a second, but one of the things you get is a legendary ship, which is an entirely different model to the standard galleon and sloop. It'll probably look like some kind of epic black pearl. Rare have been a little cagey on exactly what this means and what it will look like, other than saying the ship has its own reputation and has access to things that other standard ships do not. Intriguing to say the least. Now on top of this, there's going to be secret pirate hideouts in the game that you can only access when you gain legend status. Of course that is going to be a massive thing when it's found and the first few players gain legendary status. So this will grant you access to a cool pirate hideout that players can also then take on legendary quests from, sold by the pirate lord in the hideout, which will be the most difficult quests in the game. But of course they will also offer up the best rewards. And there's also a massive treasure to be found called Athena's Fortune. The plot thickens and I'm guessing that's some kind of endgame only quest. So how about that Kraken then, and maybe other sea monsters? We did a little search for him in a previous video, but he was nowhere to be seen. Now, when the closed beta was going on, some files were unearthed on the Kraken, but Rare have gone into a bit more detail on what we can expect from this incredible sea monster. Not only that we actually got to see it from some very unofficial leaked screenshots here, and boy does it look awesome. The screenshots are from 4chan, where a user has taken them from a test version of the game. Now, the Kraken will be a very rare event, no irony meant there, but from what Rare have said, the Kraken is always present somewhere in the world, ready to attack some unsuspecting pirates. Think of it like the alien from the game Alien Isolation. So if the Kraken hunts you down when an attack is about to occur, you're given about 30 seconds warning, and the sea will go dark, you'll hear some ominous music, and then it will wrap its massive tentacles around your ship and try to crush you. But you can fight back. In the screenshots you really get to feel the actual scale of the Kraken, and honestly it's massive. Those tentacles alone are going to be very hard to deal with. The Kraken can throw players off deck, throw them across the map, and of course cause huge damage to your ship and potentially pull it under the water and sink it. It won't come frequently, but when it does, you and your crew are going to have to work hard to survive, even team up with other crews. But if you do survive and manage to beat it, it's going to be really difficult apparently. You can expect a massive reward for your trouble. In fact, and you can see it in the screenshots, even if you survive a Kraken attack, killing it is a whole other beast entirely, and that could take, as I said, multiple crews working together to accomplish. It's no easy feat to take it down, and I can't wait to get stuck in and experience that firsthand. And then to think about what other sea monsters could be in the game. Giant squids, megalodons, and perhaps even the Leviathan, which is supposed to be much, much bigger than the Kraken. Speaking of big rewards though, the game will also offer skeleton forts. These are areas protected by, you guessed it, skeletons. And if you can ward off the waves of enemies and defeat the skeleton captain, you'll gain a key for the vault, which is bound to offer big rewards. So big in fact that it's too much treasure for any one crew to take in one go, so it's going to require multiple trips. Just in case that wasn't enough, there's going to be a big skull cloud in the sky above the island, indicating that there is an active skeleton fort there, so not only you can tell that it's active, but other crews too. Very risky business, so don't be surprised if other crews turn up while you're trying to beat the captain. That's going to be a big PvE PvP area. Rare revealed that it has a plan for Sea of Thieves, with the first big content drop coming 3 months after launch, but the game is a live service, so that doesn't mean there won't be any updates before then, because there will be. When the first big content drop launches, so will microtransactions. Let me start by saying though, no loot crates in this game. Players will be able to purchase cosmetic items that in no way impact gameplay or progression, and you'll know exactly what's inside them when you're buying them, and importantly, if you decide to buy them, they're completely optional. I personally am fine with cosmetics being purchasable for real money. That being said, there are also going to be ways to earn paid currency just by playing the game, although it's not been made clear just how that's going to happen right now, or exactly how much that you're going to be able to earn. Rare are planning to add pets to the game too. That means that you could potentially have, say, a monkey or a parrot or a cat running around your ship that you'd be able to interact with. And being honest with you, if there are no parrots, I'm going to be massively disappointed. From a gameplay standpoint, maybe you could use your parrot to harass other players or distract skeletons or sharks. That could be quite interesting. And lastly for today, I wanted to touch on server size. When playing the beta, it was a bit up and down as to how many enemy ships you would encounter. Often you'd go without seeing one for quite some time, or at least that was the case in my experience. Rare have a very novel way of dealing with servers and client migration. In fact, they say that the ideal interaction between enemy ships is around 15 to 30 minutes. At least that's what they're aiming for. The way that they do this is actually by migrating you across server instances seamlessly to ensure that there are a good balance of players in each server and area. When this happens, you'll carry on sailing as normal, but your screen will change to show you something is happening, and you'll see a riddle appear on your screen with some music. Ideally, if the player numbers are where they need to be, you shouldn't really get migrated that often. And that's all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this updated look at Sea of Thieves. Really not that long before the game is released, but I am hoping that there'll be an open beta soon. If you enjoyed this one, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, a thumbs down. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.